And we are back with you from Atlanta Motorsports Park in Dawsonville, Georgia for the afternoon session of weekend number 2 of the AMP Summer Series. Getting ready to run the Spec Miatas in their second race here, another 20-minute affair. And we've got most of the cars gridded up here. We'll have a lineup for you directly as soon as we get that from the powers that be.
Well, we at least know your top 6 based off of finishing from last race. And currently on the pole right now is, looks like that's Haney, or no, that's Jose Garcia on the pole with Keith Williamson on the outside pole. Raiden Nickel on the inside second row. And that is Hobbs on the outside second row. Fabiani is on, well, that's not behind him. That is the number 11 of Blake Haney on the third row inside with Blake Fabiani on the outside. And that is all I remember from the first race, Bill, so I don't know if
you did better than I did, so.
So as we wait for timing and scoring to get updated, we will see our grid here momentarily. We can call that out to you. It looks like race control, or the stewards are down there getting everybody lined up. We should see the field getting released here momentarily. It is slotted on the schedule for 1:45, so we should be underway here momentarily as we get some of these great views here of the AMP Skycam.
And the pace car is beginning to wind its way out onto the track. And here we go as the field slowly exits pit road, and we will be underway here after our pace lap. I think we just do one for race 2. Is that right?
From what I was told, we were doing 2 laps in the morning when it was still a little chilly and 1 lap in the afternoon. We will see as the field is slowly making their way out on track. Some great camera work from your AMP Skycam operator, Ben Halstead.
All righty, so Jose Garcia, Keith Williamson, Raiden Nickel, Ben Hobbs, Kyle Haney, and Blakely Fabiani are your top 6, followed by Bill Miller, Bill Kring, Jerry Griffin, and Anthony Guff. So we had some great racing in the first race. They kind of paired up and raced among themselves. So there's no reason to expect anything different this time around. Now, given Haney had some trouble in the middle of the first race, and that put his starting position back, so we may see him charge up through the field, or at least attempt to do so. We'll keep track of that as we go along.
He was your pole sitter for race number 1, so he definitely has the time to do it. Well, we will see after that trouble if his car is still going to be all right.
And the field parades past us, coming out of turn 6, going out of sight. We'll pick them up on the Skycam.
Well, not this lap, Bill, because we're only doing
No,
one,
we
so
won't.
we're gonna put some fresh batteries in the Skycam so you guys at home can see the race in its entirety. We only get about 20 to 25 minutes of flight time per battery, so we got to manage that appropriately. But the field currently taken to the back side of the track right now. We should see them make their way around. It should only be 1 lap to green. We will see here.
They're going in through 12 at the moment, and they will be just about 3 or 4 turns away from coming back into view. And the last little bit of silence we'll have before these guys get underway to begin this 20-minute second event for the Spec Miatas. Pace car is off, and here comes the field down to the line. Here comes Here comes Garcia and Williamson taking them to the start-finish line, waiting for the green flag, and the green flag is out and we are underway. So Garcia will be your leader. He gets a good run on Williamson as Nickel stays tight behind him and takes second place going into turn one.
Great
Will he
shot,
be able to hang
three
on
wide.
to it?
Oh, Blake Fabiani going off track there. Manages to save it, get back on, but he loses a couple positions.
And so you've got a heated battle going on for second place now as Jose Garcia's opened it up. But behind him, Raiden Nickel, Keith Williamson, and Kyle Haney. Haney, as we mentioned earlier, had a little difficulty in the first race, but now he is in fourth and he is badgering Keith Williamson for that third spot. Let's see if Fabiani's okay. See if he can get some of that track position back that he lost with that little incident.
That probably wasn't the smartest decision going three wide there, Bill, on the opening lap in turn one. Although there's very little room left on that racetrack when you got a field of 15 drivers all barreling in. As you watch your leaders going up the back hill right now, all 98 feet of it into turns 12 and 13. As we get the AMP Skycam back into position, it is a long trek there from turn 1 back to turn 14. But you can see your leaders there now making their way through that big, long double apex sweeper that is turn 14. You should see the field making their way back out to the front stretch momentarily, as they are currently in turns 14 and 15, making their way through Eau Rouge.
And here we come back down to the line. Garcia's your leader, but Nickel is pressing him. He's less than a car length behind as they are nose to tail going into turn number 1. Next up will be Williamson, then Kyle Haney, followed by Ben Hobbs. So there's your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hobbs dropping back a little bit, but though, look at Nickel ducking to the inside, looking on the inside of 4 to Jose Garcia. Nothing doing there. But we are just 2 minutes into this race, so there's a lot of action left. And we got another one off the track. It looks like Williamson got badly into the grass, lost one position anyway to Haney. And we'll see if Hobbs can take advantage of it as well. Hobbs looking to the outside as they go through turn number 5. No, looks like Haney will, that he'll hang on to that one. So he got a little, Keith Williamson got a little wide coming out of turn number 4 there.
And you see your race leader, Jose Garcia, making his way through turn 12 right now. Raiden Nickel is still hot on his tail as they swing to the outside there at turn 13, trying to set up that perfect line going into 14. And here come your leaders coming through turns 14 and 15, about to make a peek back onto the main straightaway.
Let's see if we can get an interval here. Not much to be speaking there, but it looks like Raiden Nickel looking to the outside as they cross the start-finish line. Your leader is still Jose Garcia for that lap, but Nickel looking to take something on the outside. Can't manage to keep alongside going through the turn, so he will fall back into second as they come out of number 1. Third place back, maybe 10 car lengths is going to be Kyle Haney. Keith Williamson looking to make up ground, so we've had a couple of our front runners run into early trouble getting off the track. But again, better for that to happen early so they'll have time to make up that time and especially take advantage of any battles that go on ahead of them that'll slow down the cars that are in front of them. So coming out of 6 now as we watch Jose Garcia and Raiden Nickel, 1-2s. Not too far behind is Haney, followed by Williamson and then Hobbs. And then comes Blake Fabiani. That's your top 6 there. So we're kind of getting the usual suspects up near the front of the field now. And it would not surprise me for these guys to bunch up more than they have already.
Well, Raiden Nickel trying to give it all he can to get around Jose Garcia right now as the field takes to the backside of the track. Kyle Haney's already managed to make his way up to the 3rd spot. He is ever so inching his way up there to the 2nd spot. If Raiden doesn't watch out, he's about to have a whole bumper full of Kyle Haney here in a minute. As your pack makes their way through turns 14. The field's still fairly spread out right now. Single file as your leaders come back onto the front straightaway.
Nickel this time is your leader coming to the line as he blows past Garcia, as does Williamson. So something happened, missed a shift, did something, did Jose Garcia. He's still on the track and going, but it looks like both Haney and Nickel got by him. Now Williamson gets by as well, and will Hobbs be able to take that position too?
Garcia is definitely having some car troubles out there. I'm not sure if he's unable to make power or if he lost a gear. It'll be interesting to see if he stays out or if he pulls it in this time by. Not sure how bad that problem is.
So after that, your new leader is Raiden Nickel as he enters turn number 6, followed closely by Kyle Haney. Then Keith Williamson. Then comes Garcia. It looks like he hasn't lost any more time once he kind of got it all back together, because he's maintaining 5th place and Hobbs will be behind him.
Well, he dipped offline. That's what was weird, watching him break on the inside line there going into turn 1. So I knew something was wrong. So hopefully it's nothing too bad. Hopefully he got it figured out and is back underway as you see your field coming around the back side of the track right now. Raiden Nickel with a little bit of a lead right now over Kyle Haney. And then Williamson right there in the 3rd position. As you can see, about 10 car lengths back on your screen.
Whatever it was that happened to Garcia happened coming out of 16 because Nickel was able to pull him coming down the line and was in fact passed him before the start-finish line. And it is still Raiden Nickel, your leader, followed by Kyle Haney, and then Williamson, now Garcia, and Hobbs. Everybody kind of evenly stretched out now. The differential between 1st and 2nd is going to be about 1.5 seconds, then another 1.5 seconds in a piece back to Williamson. So for the moment, things have settled down, but don't expect that to last very long, especially with Kyle Haney on the warpath.
And
again,
we're only 7 minutes into this contest, Bill, so there is plenty of time for anything to happen right now.
Raiden Nickel coming by our position now, coming out of turn number 6, followed by Kyle Haney, then Keith Williamson, Jose Garcia, Ben Hobbs, and Blake Fabiani is starting to mount a challenge for that 5th position. Ben Hobbs currently has it, but it looks like Fabiani is closing ever so slightly. We'll get a better idea when they come down the front straightaway to complete the 6th lap.
And Raiden Nickel still holding his lead pretty strong over Kyle Haney as the pack comes through 14 right now. Looks like Blake Fabiani's trying to make a run on Ben Hobbs right now as they come through the turn. Let's see how this shakes out as they make their way onto the front straight.
And coming out,
he's in that white and orange car trailing the red one.
Let's look at Nickel. Nickel with a 1.8 second lead. And Fabiani still 5 or 6 car lengths behind Hobbs. He'll tighten up, braking hard going into turn 1. Let's see if he maintains that gap coming out of turn number 1. Hobbs will pull him back to about that 10 car length lead. As we head into the carousel with your leaders, Raiden Nickel managed to open it up and has been able to maintain a bit of a lead on Kyle Haney, but who knows what will happen in the next 12 minutes or so. And here comes Jose Garcia on Keith Williamson now, challenging for that 3rd spot. He got a fender underneath slightly as they were heading into 6, but he's maybe a car length and a half as they come out of 6, head up over the hill and out of our viewing position.
As we watch them hit the backside of the track.
Behind the top 6, we've got Bill Kring, Paul Denton, Jerry Griffin, and Anthony Guff. And I believe Bill Griffin as well on that.
And you can see Jose Garcia at the bottom of your screen right now, all over that bumper of Keith Williamson, practically pushing him through turn 14. Looks like he's backing off just a little bit here as they set up Eau Rouge.
Kyle Haney adding another, excuse me.
Hey, Garcia to the
Yep.
inside, trying to make the pass, turn one.
Brakes hard. Will Williamson have anything for him to take it back? He's closing. Will he think about it going into 4? Not going to be able to, as Garcia slams the door, takes that third space. Third position as they head into the carousel.
Yeah, that turn 4, Bill, that's not the turn you want to go too wide into, because that inside position is very critical to having a good time through the carousel.
And meanwhile, Blake Fabiani is still challenging Ben Hobbs. They are battling for that 5th position. Hobbs able to maintain a 2 to 3 car length lead through most of the lap. Just waiting for somebody to make a mistake or find that little extra bit of speed or tires or brakes to go away. Lots of things can happen in the next 10 minutes that's left in this race.
And Ray Nickel is doing what we always see him doing back at Kart Track, and that's going out to an early lead and not giving it up. Still with about 15 car lengths right now over second place Kyle Haney. That is going to be a mountain for Haney to climb right now, as Ray Nickel running almost half a second faster on that past lap.
That was Ray Nickel's best lap, lap 7, at a 1:35.8. And he hits the line and tops that at 1:35.7. So he's picking a good time to turn his best laps while he's trying to put some distance, which is now almost 3 seconds between himself and Kyle Haney in second place. Jose Garcia looking comfortable in third. Keith Williamson back in fourth. And we still got that battle for 5th going on between Ben Hobbs and Blake Fabiani. Blake looking for a way to get around Ben Hobbs, but it has not happened yet. Maybe coming out of 4. Looks to the inside. But Hobbs has the momentum as they head down the hill and brake hard to go into turn 6. And there goes Fabiani looking to the inside, trying to take that, cut that inside line, but Hobbs has the momentum coming back out of 6 as well.
And we had a little bit of passing action there off camera. The number 91 car of Bill Crane getting around the 107 of Paul Denton. As the rest of the pack takes to the back side of the track, Ray Nickel with that huge lead right now and still gaining. Jose Garcia trying to catch up to the second place of Kyle Haney, although that's going to be a tall order.
Let's get an interval now coming to the line for Ray Nickel. He's just stretching it out. It's now 4 seconds. He put a second on that last lap. Meanwhile, looks like Jose Garcia closing in on Kyle Haney rather. Jose Garcia closing in on that second spot. Keith Williamson maybe 15 car lengths back and another 20 back to Ben Hobbs, who's opened it up a little bit more between himself and Blake Fabiani for that 5th position battle. So right now things are settled. Ooh, a bit of smoke. Braking hard into that turn. Goes Ray Nickel. So he hasn't quit. He's definitely not taking it easy even with a 4-second lead. And we'll see if Blake Fabiani has got anything for Ben Hobbs. And backing off a little bit and see if he can come back and make that charge. Still, we have that battle back between Kring and Denton as well.
Denton just made the pass on Kring coming out of turn 5. As they go over turn 7 and out of sight, back to the AMP Skycam. As you can see, that lead from Ray Nichols getting bigger. But the lead the second place lead by Kyle Haney over third place Jose Garcia is almost all but evaporated now, as Jose Garcia is getting right up on Kyle Haney as they make their way back to the front stretch.
And here comes Haney and Garcia. The difference between the two of those is about 0.3 of a second right now, so it's getting tighter and tighter, especially as they go through that turn 1. We know that Garcia is definitely using the brakes hard to close in that gap between himself and Haney.
Garcia is definitely braking later, but it looks like Haney might be carrying a little bit more speed through that turn as he was able to pull away just ever so slightly on the exit of turn 1.
Peeking to the inside is Garcia to Haney, and they are nose to tail coming down the hill as we watch your leader come by out of 6. Oh, a little more tire smoke out of Haney.
Haney giving it all the gas and all the brakes heading into 6 as they go up over the hill and out of sight.
Meanwhile, the battle between Hobbs and Fabiani seems to have stabilized to about a 6 or 7 car length lead. So right now, about the only contest we have is for second place, but quite a contest it is as Garcia looking to at least get to second.
And you can see them nose to tail going through 14. Garcia kind of peeking to the outside, now back to the inside. Looks like he's going to try and make the pass here coming up through 15. We'll see as they come side by side. Oh, no, he gets back out behind him.
4 minutes to go. 4 minutes to go in this one, so we have 2 or 3 laps left.
And Haney shuts the door on Garcia. He tried to peek to the outside, but wasn't able to make it happen.
So Garcia realizing he's running out of time and opportunities. Definitely trying to make those passes on Kyle Haney, but Haney, as you said, William, shutting the door on him.
Well, we are 3.5 minutes left to go in this 20-minute contest, Bill. That means we're probably going to see 2 more passes at the start-finish. So we've got just under 3 laps to go in this contest. So let's see if Jose Garcia has enough left in the tank to get around Haney.
He's right on him coming out of turn number 6. He's got the momentum, but Haney has the track position. They are nose to tail going up over the hill. Let's take a look on the backside and see what happens.
You can see your race leader, Raiden Nickel, all the way out front there, making his way up the hill through turns 12 and 13. As that battle for second place going on right behind him. As you can see, Kyle Haney, Jose Garcia diving into 13. Let's see how they set up this turn. This big sweeper double apex that is turn 14. And it looks like they're going to be content to go nose to tail through turn 14 as they make their way onto the front straightaway.
As your leader, Raiden Nickel, comes to the line, we have 2 minutes and 15 seconds left, and here comes Haney and Garcia. Garcia ducking to the inside as they head into turn 1. He has position now. Will Haney be able to take him back, coming back up the hill? Who's got the momentum? Maybe Haney, but is it enough? He's drawing alongside, maybe got a quarter panel, but nope.
He's going to have to lift. And
Jose Garcia is your new second place car with about a lap and 3/4 to go here.
We should see the white flag this time by, Bill.
We are less than 2 minutes now. We're at 1:40 to go. So we'll see the white flag when Raiden Nickel comes by next time. Right now he is just going over turn 5. And then second and third likewise. All by himself now is Keith Williamson. Now Fabiani closing it in a little bit more on Hobbs. Still that 5th place battle. That calmed down for a little bit, but with just a lap and a half to go, it's going to get intense. As we're watching your leaders going up in through turn 12, and they'll be coming back around here shortly.
And Jose Garcia has managed to pull out a little bit from Haney. And it now looks like Williamson might be on the hunt to get around Haney. Let's see this time by.
Here we go. Coming to the line is Raiden Nickel taking the white flag. And you are right. Here comes Haney.
Oh, that wasn't Haney. I was
and then comes Garcia. Yeah, something happened to Garcia because Haney came back around into second. Garcia is now back in third, and he's being challenged by Williamson now in this last lap.
I saw the silver lid on the AMP Skycam and assumed it was Garcia, but Garcia must have had some trouble because now Williamson is hot on the tail of Garcia. And this is going to be last lap to determine the podium here.
So whatever trouble it was that Garcia had is to the benefit of Kyle Haney, as he's solidly in second right now. Of course, at the line, Raiden Nickel had a 7.6 second lead. So he, again, as you said, got the lead and just left.
And it looks like Fabiani had some trouble as well. Because
right, and we had a little fishtailing there from Hobbs as he came out of 6. Yeah, where is Blake?
It looks like he fell
there.
Back
He
a
is.
little
He's
bit.
coming into 4 now. Yeah. So everybody's trying maybe a little too hard on this last lap. And speaking of the last lap, we should see your leaders coming by any time now.
Raiden Nickel making his way through 14. Kyle Haney about 30 car lengths behind him. They should, if everything holds these last 2 turns, should take the 1 and 2.
And to the checkered flag comes your race winner, Raiden Nickel. And let's see, here comes Kyle Haney, second place. He will take that position. Jose Garcia hangs on to third, followed by Keith Williamson in 4th. And then comes Ben Hobbs, will be your 5th place finisher.
Well, Bill, the young gun takes it again. Raiden Nickel, his 2nd race day ever with us, his 2nd win. He is a new face up here at the main track, although he is a common stay back at kart track. He's been dominating for years back there. 13 years old, making his debut this season up at the main track. 2nd race of the summer season, 2nd win for Raiden Nickel. And I don't know about you, Bill, but I think we might have a new powerhouse up here at the main track.
All right, so behind our top 5, we had Paul Denton coming in 6th. Blake Fabiani finally finishing up in 7th. Jerry Griffin, Bill Griffin got around Anthony Guff there on the last lap because we had a position change there. So Guff will end up in 10th, and Bill Kring will be your 14th place finisher. So quite the race there. Second Spec Miata feature. And let's, give a shout out to Raiden Nickel. He's definitely has no fear. That's an advantage of youth for sure, but he got out there and just left everybody behind. Check for that restrictor plate.
Well, they will definitely roll him through the scales down there.
Oh, mercy sakes, that was quite a race there. Quite a performance by everybody involved, and now we are getting ready to roll the downforce cars out for their second 20-minute feature.
So we will take a short break. For those of you watching at home, those of you trackside, you can still see all the action. So we're going to go scuttle down the stairs, take a quick bathroom break, and back with you momentarily as the downforce field gets gridded up.
Thank you for sharing. Getting ready for race number 2 for the downforce class. The SR1s, SR3s coming out onto the track. Looking forward to more action here with these guys.
Wait for our scoring app to update. We will get you a grid here momentarily, although I do know the lead car is Corey Bobo and that orange General Lee Tribute Radical. Although the rest of them, we're going to have to wait till scoring is up there. And it looks like it did just update.
Here we go. Yep. And we've got Barry Davison, Everett Dixon, Andrew Nagy, and John Bruneau after his difficulties with the first race. Let's see if he's got the transmission put back in there after the trouble he had. All right, so Davison's electing to start in the back as well. Because your leader is going to be Corey, or leading the pack is Corey Bobo. Coming in last, or in the behind, will be Davison. Will be bringing up fifth rather. And as we come by, we will get. Well, are we going 1 or 2 pace laps on this one?
It might be 2 with the weather. I did not stick my head into timing and scoring to ask, so it'll be anybody's guess this time by, Bill. And it'll be interesting to see here what happens, because as you remember from race number 1, Barry Davidson spun in that first turn, and he's one of our stronger drivers here in the field today. Really should see the fight, or the action between him and John Bruneau. But obviously with that spin during race 1, we were not able to see much action between the two of them. Our other 3 drivers on grid are all recent graduates of the Primal Racing School, so it should be some good action between the 3 of them. Although look for a lot of the action from Barry Davidson and John Bruneau this time. And we will see how things shake out here. Looks like they're going to do a second time by. Some great coverage here by the AMP Skycam. Although, unfortunately, we're only able to follow them like this when it's under pace speeds, because these guys at speed are doing about $120 coming through this front straightaway, usually hitting around 130 before they get to that braking zone. And as we change the battery out on the AMP Skycam, we should hopefully get this back up and flying before the start of this race. You can see your field now heading down into turn number 6. This should be a fun race with your 2 SR3s up front and the 3 SR1s in the back. Now, there's not as much of a performance difference as far as straight line acceleration goes with these cars, because most of them are running the 1340cc Suzuki Hayabusa engine, making about 185 brake horsepower. These cars, the SR1s, only weighing about 1,100 pounds, so you could do the math there, Bill. The power to weight on these are quite the machines for racing. 0 to 60 time under 3.5 seconds. Lateral G's getting close to 2 in the turns.
As we see the field heading up through 12, and they'll be into that double apex 14 soon, and then heading back to the home straightaway. Coming out of 16 in just a minute, and we will be underway for action in this second downforce class race here in the second weekend of the summer series here at Atlanta Motorsports Park, Dawsonville, Georgia. And I haven't given you a temperature check in a while. 56 degrees. Wow, we could even maybe
Almost warm enough to have some races.
Yeah,
Bill.
really, almost. We could maybe get close to 60. But at least it's nice. I'm in my short sleeves now, so that's good. The wind hadn't gotten too much worse, so we are in good shape here. I know you were all worried about us in our broadcast position. And speaking of worrying, here comes the field down to the start-finish line to take the green flag. Your leader is going to be Corey Bobo, taking them down. And here we go, underway. Green flag is out. Corey Bobo is your leader, and John Bruneau immediately rockets into second, followed right behind by Barry Davison taking third. So the teachers are passing the learners at the moment as we watch the field go into the carousel. Whoa, we've got all sorts of trouble coming into four.
Looks like Corey Bobo and Everett Dixon got into it. We'll need to see this time by because I can't see those little numbers on that white car from all the way up here.
That was Davison and Bobo.
Oh, okay.
And we still don't see Bobo. The one spot we can't see from up here, and that's where it happened. So we are waiting to see if Corey Bobo emerges. But something happened down there in turn number 3. Now Davison, that puts him substantially behind. Of course, he elected to start back there, so we'll see how much ground he can make up in the upcoming 19 minutes left in this event. There comes Corey Bobo, so at least it's able to run and get it going again. So here he
did
comes.
The exact same thing last race, Bill, and I'm wondering if it's just cold tires early on. He's pushed it a little too hard. And we should see the rest of the field making their way onto the front straight momentarily.
And even as we speak, John Bruneau is your leader. Second place will be Everett Dixon. Then will come Andrew Nagy and then Barry Davison. Already not that far behind. He only lost 10 seconds to the leader. So let's see what Barry Davison can do.
And look to him to make short work of this field as he tries to catch up to your race leader, John Bruneau.
He's already on the tail of Andrew Nagy and should expect him to make a move either coming out of 4 or going into 6. And there we go into 6, diving underneath goes Davison. He will take the third position now from Nagy, as Bobo is 49 seconds behind the leader. That little bit of misfortune, it cost him a whole lot. And we'll see if he's able to make any of that ground up as the race progresses here. 2 minutes and 46 seconds into the race so far. So it's very early on here. We've only completed 2 laps. And we've already had plenty of action with more to come here. Coming out of 16 now is, again, your leader, Bruneau. Let's get the differential now between him and Dixon. It's going to be 6.5 seconds, but there comes Davison right behind him. The gap between Davison and the leader is 7.4 seconds. And we'll keep an eye on that as well.
And it looks like Davison running almost 4-second faster lap than John Bruneau. He might be laying off it a little bit, Bill, to let somebody catch back up so you can have a little bit of a race here. And you can hear him. Yeah, I think he's
he's going to get around Bruneau before they get out of turn 8 or so, I imagine, the way he is just bearing down, because he got around Dixon no problem. Meanwhile, Bobo is right at 49 seconds still. He's gaining a little bit of time as we go along here.
There go your race leaders, as you can see, picking up pace a little bit there. I think Bruneau was just wanting to let somebody catch up so he can have someone to drive with. Sometimes get lonely all the way up there in the front by yourself. You just asked Ray Nickel from last race.
It didn't seem to bother him at all. And coming to the line now And there is Barry Davison already opening up a second 1.7 lead, second lead on second place Bruno, and then comes Dixon back 8.112. So the curiosity now is to how much ground, if any, can Corey Bobo make up as Nagy comes by to complete his fourth lap.
Now, I'll be interesting to see if John Bruno turns a hot lap this time by, because he could potentially be having some more mechanical trouble, which is what parked him in the first race. So we'll see about half a lap down here. We'll see next time by how his time improves. But we're only 5 minutes into this 20-minute race, Bill, so there's plenty of time for more action.
Bobo's lopped off about 3.5 seconds on that last lap, so he's starting to cut down. I don't think there's nearly enough time in this race for him to make it all the way back up, but it'll be fascinating to see how much time he can make up, or going back to what happened the last race, if Davison has any issues. There's the announcer's curse again.
As your race leaders make their way back onto the front straightaway.
It's now 2.7 second difference between first and second.
Yeah, I'd say Bruno's back on it, Bill, because he lobbed about 10 seconds off his lap time that last time by. Although he's still about a second off of Davison's pace. So let's see if he picks it up any more this time.
We'll watch Nagy come by.
Oh, swinging wide, getting all four off there. He's got to be careful, because that'll be a roll-through penalty if he does that again. That was John Bruno going through turn 6.
So Corey Bobo turning his fastest time. Actually, everybody turned their best lap on that last lap, the difference being 135 for Nagy on the low end, and then the top speed was 121.5 for Davison. Speaking of which, comes by to complete his 6th lap, and Bruno is only 3.4 seconds behind now. So it's getting tight in front.
John Bruno closing that gap just a tiny bit, although he's still off the pace of Barry Davidson. Davidson about 0.8 seconds faster that last time by. So we'll see what happens here, because Davidson's got nothing but green fields in front of him.
Well, let's hope it's asphalt. If he sees green fields, I think he's in trouble.
Yeah, he's got green asphalt in front of him, Bill.
As 1 and 2 come out of 6. Well, you don't have to be a race driver to take advantage of the programs here at Atlanta Motorsports Park. Young people can do it as well, right, Will?
Yes, sir. The Primal Racing School, as we mentioned during the first broadcast, they do a full 3-day racing school. So if you're looking to get your competition license, you can sign up and do that. But if, say, you're not looking to get your competition license, you just want to feel what it's like to be a race car driver, get your chance to drive one of these vehicles, we actually have half-day and whole-day programs at the Primal Racing School. It's real easy to sign up for. You just go to primal.racing, or you can go to www.primalracing.com. Either website will work. You can sign up for their programs. They do everything from half-day experience, one-day experience. They have 2-day refresher courses, so if you've had a license and you're trying to get back into it, maybe you let your credentials lapse, you can come back, do a 2-day advanced course, and they also have the full 3-day school that we mentioned earlier.
And that's primal.racing, right?
Yes, primal.racing, no .com. And if you want a .com, you can go to www.primalracing.com. I know that was clear as mud right there, Bill, but either website will work, primal.racing or www.primalracing.com.
All right, and one of those graduates, Corey Bobo, just got around Andrew Nagy. And so he's moved into 4th place, just as we were going through that little promo there, coming out of turn number 6. So a little bit of change there. Currently, it's a 4.4 second lead for Davison over Bruneau. And here comes the aforementioned Bobo. I mean, it's rough going off track or having difficulty at any time during the race, but it just makes the race that much longer when you have difficulty at the very beginning, and then you spend the rest of the race and catch up or just making laps.
And I don't know if you can see it, Bill, but all the way out there at turn number 4, track photographer Kevin Espinosa putting in the legwork to get out there and get the shots for everybody. I don't know if you can see his little red shirt there all the way at the end of the carousel. But he is putting the work in today to get some pictures for you guys to look at home later this week. We typically do race reports, race pictures, race videos, you name it. We try and give our races as much coverage as we can. So if you're not able to tune in live, if you're not able to be here to watch the races, you can definitely catch it online. And we are happy to bring that to you week in and week out here at Atlanta Motorsports Park.
We are just over halfway now, actually 10 minutes and 50 seconds into this 20-minute event, so about 9 minutes to go here. As your leader remains Barry Davison with John Bruneau in second. Everett Dixon is third. Corey Bobo now in fourth. Andrew Nagy bringing up fifth position. Now, we talked about actual drivers and professionals and such, but there's something for young drivers, right, for student drivers here at Atlanta Motorsports Park as well.
Yes, depending on what you want to get into, whether you want to race or whether you just want to be a better driver, we have multiple driving programs here, and the one that Bill was alluding to is our teen driving program that is called Drive Strong. It's a nonprofit 501c3. We work with students. We have a fleet of brand new BMWs. We use all the facilities here at Atlanta Motorsports Park. There's a skid pad with a 7.5% grade, so we can practice ice hills, wet conditions. Basically, anytime you break traction, you break loose. We put teenagers in these cars, and we basically just let them loose and say, hey, this is what's going to happen. Now correct it. And so they put them in actual real-world scenarios. There's another exercise they get in where they get on the front straightaway. They get these guys up to 70 miles an hour, and they make them do a swerve and stop, which is a really fun exercise that only you can do here at Atlanta Motorsports Park. And the best part about it is the teen driving school is only $295, so it is definitely a good value and is something you should sign your students up for. And if you are interested in checking that out, head on over to drivestrong.org. Or if you'd like to be a volunteer and help out with the program, you can also sign up there as well.
Definitely good information there. I didn't know about the volunteer part. That's interesting. Do they take old man just yelling at them to, hey, slow down here in the neighborhood?
Those are all the retired instructors.
You young whippersnappers. All righty, we are 13 minutes in now, 7 minutes to go in this second downforce race of the day here in weekend number 2 for the AMP Summer Series here at Atlanta Motorsports Park. A little breezy. You might be able to hear the wind whipping through our microphones here. We're doing our best to keep this as reasonably listenable as possible, but let's see what we got here at the line. Last lap, 6.5 second lead now for Barry Davison over John Bruneau. And I believe he's actually put Nagy a lap down last time around, because your first two are on lap number 10, and then Dixon, Bobo, and Nagy are on lap number 9. Here comes Bobo right now. He actually has passed Dixon for third place. So now Corey Bobo is third place. Dixon is fourth, and Andrew Nagy is fifth, one lap down. And just that quickly, here comes leader Barry Davison by again, opening up that lead to 7.1 seconds now over second place John Bruneau. So they're just getting their laps in now with about 5.5 minutes to go here in this second downforce feature of the day. And what I'm looking at, nobody's putting in any fastest times right now. It looks like everybody's just kind of taking it easy. I wouldn't say slow and easy or necessarily easy, but they're not pushing it quite as hard as they were earlier when there was competition, as everybody is pretty much spread out now.
As you can see, your lower half of the field taken to the back side of the track right now. A beautiful wide shot from the AMP Skycam, capturing pretty much the entry to turn 11 all the way through the exit of 14. You kind of lose 15 on the back side of the trees right there, and you can catch 16, but it's real small, so unless you got this pulled up on a 65-inch television at home, Bill, I don't think you're going to see much. But still a great camera angle to have, and one that we did not have last season, so we can bring some of the action to you.
Well, even just as I said, no one was running fast laps or fastest laps. Corey Bobo turns his best lap of the race. Lap 11 at 1:24.258. So he's definitely wanting to make the most of his time here. Again, he's passed 2. He's moved back into 3rd place, and he is 8 seconds. Is that right? Well, I actually don't have everybody by yet to get a differential between 2nd and 3rd. As soon as he comes by, we can get. He was about a minute off the lead. I was just trying to see how far back off of 2nd place he was. And we will know next time by. Again, we can only get these times at the start-finish line. So there comes Bobo. Let's find out. All right. He's got a 58-second gap, almost 59, between himself and 2nd place. So it may be 3rd place is about where we're going to settle, because with only about 3 minutes and 10 seconds to go here, we're talking a couple laps at most. It'll be probably 2 laps to go next time Davison comes by, which he just did. So maybe 2 laps after this.
Yeah, we've got just under 3 minutes to go, Bill. They're turning about minute 22, minute 23 laps. We should see at least 2 more times by the start-finish, so expect possibly to see the white flag next time. It's really going to depend on where the leader's at, because if there's at least a minute and a half left to go in the race, they will run 1 more lap.
As we see your leader come by, he just put Everett Dixon down. So now your 4th and 5th place runners are now are 1 lap down, as we're looking at about 2 minutes and 15 seconds to go in this 2nd downforce feature here at Atlanta Motorsports Park in Dawsonville, Georgia. I don't know, we're not going to make it to 60, but 56 is really comfortable. The sky has been beautiful all day. Can't complain about that. As Corey Bobo comes by, followed by Andrew Nagy.
And it looks like we have officially ran out of juice on the AMP Skycam, so we are bringing that back in.
And white flag out for Barry Davidson. So here we are. This is our last lap here with 1 minute and 40 to go. That'll be just about right for 20 minutes. So Davidson is your leader. Bruneau will be 2nd, 7.8 seconds back. And then we'll wait for the rest of the gang to come by as we wrap up this 2nd event.
It's still getting some great shots out of this AMP Skycam as it's on its auto track back here to the roof of the building. So we will not see them this final time by on the back side of the track, so we will have to hold our breath and see what happens with the number 57 of Barry Davison.
Well, maybe if you just got a really long extension cable, you could
just tether it.
You would have to worry about it, yeah, you know. And Corey Bobo coming by for his white flag. So next time by, the next car we see should be Barry Davison coming out of 16, and here he comes. Takes the checkered flag as he puts Nagy another lap down right at the line. Checkered flag comes out for Barry Davison. John Bruneau will finish about 9.9 seconds behind. And then Corey Bobo will be another minute or so back behind that. But that was 4 or 5 car race. It was fairly eventful, especially with the action that happened over there in the entrance to turn number 4. So that should wrap it up for us here at Atlanta Motorsports Park. We appreciate you joining us on our streaming webcast today, and we come out here and do this for the on-track races, weather permitting, every month whenever the big track races come out. And as Will said earlier, we'll be out at the kart races next month in May. We will be bringing you the kart events, and if you've never seen these guys race the karts here at Atlanta Motorsports Park, be sure to do that. It is not a thing to be missed. And Corey Bobo finally comes by.
May 22nd, mark it on your calendar, Bill.
Ah, we have a date.
No, I mean, I need you to mark it on your calendar so you can be here to announce.
Oh, me?
Yes.
Okay.
And you guys at home as well. And you guys listening trackside. So that was some good racing here today, Bill. It was always exciting. I love that the Downforce series is getting fired back up. We kind of missed them over the winter months because these cars don't like the cold weather as much as other cars. So always exciting to see them get back out, seeing the field grow for them. Spec Miata race, exciting as always. It's fun getting to watch Raiden Nickel take home his second W of the season, something he has been very used to back at kart track. Exciting future ahead for that young driver. I know we are excited to see what he does with his career. He has been racing for quite some time. All the other drivers here today, some good action. Have our usual crew of Miata drivers mixed in with a few new names. So as this season wears on, we are only race number 2 out of 8, Bill. So we have quite the ways to go with this season. So it's still anybody's game, although if I had to guess, Raiden Nickel is probably off to a pretty solid lead in the point standing. We'll have to get that tabulated and check back in with you guys next month. But for all of us here up in the booth, myself, William Rigdon, my beautiful turn caller, Bill Rigdon, camera woman Collins Rigdon, AMP Skycam operator Ben Halstead, all around general help Dale Temple. For all of us here in the AMP broadcast team, for everybody watching at home, thank you and good night.
And we'll see you next time.